Hello everyone, in this video I will take a look at changes to missiles and torpedo damage in 3.17, and there are a lot more important stats like detection radius, speed and so on, but I will only talk about damage. And once again, this was not mentioned in any patch notes at all. Of course, this game is an alpha and has a long way to go. I still think CRG should announce such very drastic changes. Missiles and torpedoes always did physical and energy damage with a very few exceptions since forever, but now they are only doing one damage type, either physical, distortion or energy. Let's go into details. Error still does energy and physical damage, same with bullet. I'm pretty much sure this is just an error in the XML files. CRG is very bad with proofreading their changes, so I guess this will be physical damage and this one too. Marksman only does physical damage now, roughly half the damage it did before. Pioneer only does distortion damage, Spark 1 only energy damage, and Task Force only distortion damage. Bullet here, like I mentioned, no changes, this is most likely just an error in the XML files. Dominator only does distortion damage now, Ignite only physical damage. Rattler does energy and physical damage. This might be intentional because it has changed, and Rattlers have their sub-missiles back. There are 6 sub-missiles, but they don't all hit. I tested this with Flickr last night, and of 6 sub-missiles, usually only 2 or 3 actually hit the target, so CRG has to do a lot more work on this. Strike Force only does energy damage, same with Tempest. Why should you use a Tempest when Strike Force does more energy damage? Well, there's more to it. Those missiles might have different detection ranges, different abilities to stay on target. Like I mentioned, there are tons of stats. I might look more detailed into it when 3.17 is on live. For now, I'm only looking at damage. Arrester only does energy damage now. Chaos only physical damage. Thunderbolt distortion, and Viper physical damage. Assailant only does energy damage, and she just lost her physical damage. Very interesting. Dragon only does physical damage. Same damage she did before in energy. Interesting. Pathfinder only physical damage, and Raptor 4 only does distortion damage now. Reaper 5 only does distortion damage, same damage she did before in energy. Scimitar only distortion damage, same damage she did before in energy. By the way, this is the default size 5 missile of Ballista, so you are now stuck with 8 times distortion damage, which doesn't really do much at the moment. And if you want to change it, it's a pain in the ass. You have to get your Ballista where you can buy those missiles, or you have to transport the missiles where you can spawn your Ballista. Yeah, it's like Euro Truck Simulator for Star Citizen. Stalker 5 only does energy damage, she just lost her physical damage part. And Valkyrie only does physical damage now, same damage she did before in energy. Helion only does physical damage now, same damage she did before in energy. And the big boys, Argos 9 only does energy damage now, she lost her physical damage part. Seeker only does distortion damage now, same damage she did before in energy. And Typhon 9 only does physical damage now, same damage she did before in energy. Yeah, I don't know why CRG did such a drastic change to missile torpedo damage, and I don't know why it wasn't mentioned anywhere. Would be nice to hear about this, why CRG did this. Maybe a dev can talk about it. And another very interesting thing, tracking type is now linked to damage type. Physical damage has infrared, energy damage has cross-section, and distortion damage has electromagnetic detection. Of course, there are some outliers, but this is most likely just an error in the XML files. So I don't like it that damage type is now linked to sensor type. We should have the option to select a sensor before we are firing a missile or torpedo. And of course, Star Citizen is in alpha and has a long way to go. There will be a lot more balance changes in the future. In this video I just wanted to talk about changes to missile and torpedo damage. I hope you found it interesting and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay, we have two. I died, Sticker. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.